Hey all, welcome back to my channel. It's been quite some time since I did a movie review, but this movie, the one which I went and saw today, made me realize I have to actually speak about it. I mean, there were tons of controversies surrounding this film. I really have to say a few words about it, but let's talk about the movie first.
Send in the clowns.
Guys, let me just say this beforehand. I do have a bias towards this character. The arch nemesis of my favorite superhero, the greatest comic book villain of all time, and he has been portrayed by wonderful actors on screen before, the best one being Heath Ledger, who won the Oscar for his role. When this film was announced, I was really skeptical about it. Even though I was keeping my tabs on it, I was skeptical about it. I was wondering how another actor would top off on a role that someone iconically played before. I'm not talking about Jared Leto, I'm talking about Heath Ledger, obviously. So when Joaquin was casted for this role, I was like, this guy is a fantastic actor. I've seen him in many movies before, Her, Gladiator, and among such. And he's always had a thing about it. He chooses movies by scripts. So I was wondering why he actually chose a comic book superhero movie. And when I saw this movie, I could understand what was the entire scheme of things behind him choosing this film in the first place. One thing is for sure, guys, after watching this film, I'm sure that Joaquin Phoenix's performance stands somewhere close to where Heath Ledger performed this iconic character. I'm sure he's gonna be an Oscar contender as well. The movie, as it is, does not ask us to sympathize with this character or romanticize a villain as such, but it shows a different kind of origin story for the Joker. And we go through the motions of what he's actually going through. Here's the thing about the movie, we do not know whether we should root for him, we should sympathize with him, we should feel scared of him. Well, sometimes there are actions that he does that really makes you want to tear up, and there are some actions that he does that makes your skin crawl. I mean, this is a kind of movie that leaves you asking a bunch of questions and makes you feel all weird and uncomfortable afterwards. Trust me, it took me a long time for me to actually do this review, because after the movie, I think I was sitting and thinking about it for 3 to 4 hours before I actually wanted to do this review in the first place. Even though there were actors like Robert De Niro and Zazie Beetz in this film, I think they were just afterthoughts, because the entire 123 minutes of running time was entirely dependent on just Joaquin Phoenix's performance, and we buy that completely. I mean, here's the thing, this movie is a slow burner as such. I mean, the payoff at the end, if you are up for it, the payoff at the end is amazing. I mean, I haven't had goosebumps like that in such a long time, to be honest. With regards to the controversies surrounding the film, I must say that it's blown out of proportions. Most of the critics that were talking about this film were mentioning that this movie paints people suffering from mental illness in a bad picture, or that people suffering from mental illness could go down a track of violence. No, I don't think that's what the director was actually trying to say. I think he was trying to say that we could actually be part of a system which could break down a nice man and actually make him go completely insane as such in the end. I mean, mental illness is no joke, guys, and I must say that it is something that we should treat carefully as such, and we should not take it lightly as well. I believe that's the most important message that this film is trying to say, and I think that's what most critics have not got when it comes to the negative reviews about this film. Just so you know, guys, this movie's director is the same guy who directed the Hangover trilogy, and I'm surprised that he came out with this art form. Last but not the least, I want to talk about the music as well. I don't know who composed the soundtrack. It seems to be a new guy, as per the Wikipedia page, but it's one of the most jarring and creepy soundtracks that I've heard in a long time. It kind of slowly creeps up on you the same way as the movie does, and it leaves you with a score that will be like remember for quite some time. I'm still searching for it, to be honest, to listen to it again. It was that impactful. As you can understand, I was thoroughly impressed by this film, and this would be my score. Yes, it's a perfect score for this film. Could be because of my bias as well, but I suggest that people who want to watch an entirely different art form of a film should definitely go for this film. It's not a superhero film. Please be reminded of that. There's no bombastic action sequences, nothing for you to root for or get behind. There's just this amazing character and his amazing origin film as well. And people who take issues by saying that, hey, this is not exactly how the Joker functions, and this is not how exactly his origin story is supposed to be, are forgetting the iconic statement which Joker said in his own comic book strip as well. He just mentioned that he prefers that his beginnings be multiple origins as well, and I say that this movie has fulfilled even his expectations. Thank you guys so much for watching my review, and this is Siddharth saying bye bye for now. Take care.
You just